We're going to get started after a quick word from FanDuel. The NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if that $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So are you ready to play? If you are, download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. All right, guys, Tyvis and Dustin weren't here yesterday when we talked about Dillon Gabriel and Kevin Stefanski, so I wanted to kind of further that discussion, but start off in a different direction. When you look at Dillon Gabriel's pass chart from his first NFL start against the Minnesota Vikings, you'll see a lot of underneath passes. The majority of his passes came within that 10-yard and in range. If you go back and look at a lot of
really
Joe Flacco's.
Really 5 and in, Mike. I mean, if you look at the majority of them, it's really 5 and in.
5 and in, I'm just going on the graphic where everyone can see specifically. If you look at Joe Flacco's pass charts from previous weeks, they looked very similar to this. Steve, we don't have a graphic for that, so don't try and find it. The question I had, and Tyvis, you have brought this up before. Quarterbacks under Kevin Stefanski have seemed to turn into more check down merchants than quarterbacks who are attempting to push the ball downfield. Do you think that's more a result of Kevin Stefanski's system, or in the talent at quarterback the Browns have been putting out there? Or do you think there's no validity to the idea that he's actually turning some of these quarterbacks into check down merchants?
Oh, no, there's validity in it. But with Dillon Gabriel, that one, you got to kind of throw that out the window for a little bit. The reason I say that is because I think that this game plan was very conservative. I think that they tried to give him all the easy throws. I don't think that they gave him a full playbook with explosive plays and things like that. To me, it came off as, we know that you're a timing quarterback. We know that you get the ball out your hands in a timely manner, so we're only going to run routes that benefits you. You know, and the furthest pass he threw was at the end of the game to Isaiah Bond, maybe, something like that. So it's not like he tried to push the ball down the field. This game plan was tailored for him to do that. So I can't really say, you know, on this particular game that Kevin's system is making him be that. Like if you ask me this question 2 weeks from now and the chart looks like that, yeah. But I definitely feel that way with Baker. I feel that way with Deshaun, and I definitely feel that way with Joe. That all of those guys, first couple of years that under Kevin, they were down the field with the ball, and then as they continued to work with Kevin more and more, the passes started to come more quicker. So, I mean, that's just what it is. But, again, that's part of what the West Coast offense is getting the ball out your hand quick. So it kind of falls in rhythm step to what they doing now. If you want to say you're not a fan of the West Coast offense, that's a totally different story, and I'll hear that. But there are other programs in the NFL that runs the West Coast offense, and they do a great job of pushing the ball down the field. So that's my 2 cents on that. But I won't blame Kevin all the way 100% on this one because it's a rookie's first start. You don't want to put too much on his plate. You want to make it kind of easy for him, and that's what they did.
I mean, I kind of agree with Tyvis for the most part. I think that this game in particular is difficult to kind of like be like, okay, this is what Kevin Stefanski is. But because we have such a big sample size like previous quarterbacks, yeah, I think it sort of is what he's like asking these quarterbacks to do. With Gabriel, though, he is a rookie. Like, he's going to try to get the ball out of his hands as quick as possible. They don't have a lot of weapons, obviously, on the outside in terms of wide receivers. So I'm baffled by the lack of offense right now, guys. And, yeah, they played a rookie, and it was a tough spot to start, you know, short week on the road in London. Like, all those things are certainly factors into this equation. But guys, I mean, this is painful to watch. I mean, it's absolutely brutal. I mean, this offense is like setting back football.
Years.
I mean, really, really bad. I watch a lot of bad football, guys. I mean, I'm not the top crew at ESPN, so like, I travel around. You know, I'm like in the Sun Belt and the MAC, and
the
like
the old AAC,
you know,
Conference USA game.
I covered UAB on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, offense is back a little bit. But no, I'm kind of joking. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just bad. It's bad offense right now. And these are professionals. Like, UAB's not getting paid.
Pro.
There's no NIL.
Nobody at UAB's getting an NIL?
No.
No, I don't think so. I think they had like 40 grand or something.
UAB is the
quarterbacks getting free food for
UAB is the place that you go if you in a junior college and you want to play D1. You go to UAB.
Listen, they still giving Pell Grant the OIG. They still presenting. Hey, you get free books here. You're like, but I thought all people got free books. Yeah, man. I've said this before, Bull. Like it's nasty work. It's really nasty. And good job by you yesterday. You listen. I wanted to commend you for coming around. I wanted to commend you for taking the first step. The first step in recovery
is admitting
that you were bamboozled. They bamboozled you. They got you. They made you feel like you were being reasonable by sticking with Stefanski. And hey, but this happened and that happened. But sometimes you just wake up and look in the mirror and say, I just can't do this anymore.
No, you know what they do? This is what the Browns do, and it kind of makes me feel some type of way sometimes. This is my issue, is that you watch the game, I know the game. Like, I've played it, I know the game. But then they'll say something to make me be like, maybe I didn't see it that way. Like, they try to make you see it in a different light. But at the end of the day, it's like, no, I was right the entire time, but you just made me second guess myself. That's what they do.
Human nature is we are creatures who are remorseful, contrite, and want to give opportunities to people. We are all people. I
don't know about everybody.
See, I just gave you a compliment. Here you go backsliding. Now we want to look. Kevin Stefanski is a great guy. I think he's a good, solid man. I think he's a good dude. Right? I think he's principled. I like his even demeanor. And it makes it very difficult for you to come up here and say that somebody is doing that bad of a job. And it makes you want to say, okay, well, let me look at all the reasons why this could be possibly true, right? And it works. That thing happens to everybody. But you got to go back to the bare minimum. You got to get back to the ground level of things and say, if you are a coordinator, right, and you're an offensive coordinator, you are judged based on how well your offense does, right? Just the same way you guys are players. If you guys were your film grade, you might get 1 or 2 games where you can grade at a 40 or 50%, but they're gonna make you know it that week too. And that by that second week, they might even pull you into the office. Hey, listen, I don't know what's going on. Is you and your girlfriend in trouble? What's going on at home? You should worry about something. By that third week, they're getting somebody else ready to go. It's at big time programs like that. So for me, we here 6 years later, and he's being represented by his body of work. I'm not saying it because I don't like him. His body of work is telling me what it is. The thing ain't look different. And Tyvis, remember, they told us Deshaun put the Molotov cocktail in the building and blew it up. They said that was Deshaun. But the quarterback since, I haven't seen the improvement.
I'm going to say something. This is going to be very controversial.
Okay.
And I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to just say it.
Now, hold on. When you preface this is a bull story, now it better be good. It better be good.
Because when I say this, people going to take it the wrong way. So I have to explain it. When you hear what I say, it's going to sound crazy, but I'm going to explain it.
All right.
I agree with Deshaun with why he wanted to change the playbook. I agree. Like, when they first got together and they sat down and watched tape and he was like, oh, yeah, I like that. And then a year later, they was like, nah, this ain't going to work. We need a whole new type of offense.
Well, that didn't work either.
It didn't, but I understand why he wanted to change, though.
Okay.
I kind of see it. Like, it just lacks explosiveness. Like, to me, and I just think that's the biggest problem. Like, we've been sitting here. This is 2 years. Last year we said it. This year we said it. They don't stretch the field. Like, there's nothing there outside of this great run game, which Quinshon is a beast because everybody know that Quinshon's getting the ball, and Quinshon still finds ways to be effective in the game. That's crazy when you ain't got no passing attack and you're still able to do those things. So he is special. But, like, it's just kind of boring to watch now. Like, it's like, dude, like, I'm still waiting on the bang aids. Oh, Steve wanted me to tell you what a bang aid is. That's when you run like 7-step post.
Skinny post.
Yeah, 7-step skinny post route. They run the play action, that linebacker step up, they throw the ball right past them. Amari Cooper killed with it. Jerry Jeudy should be killing with it.
Let me ask you this then, because it seems like you're getting there. I want to make sure you get to this. Would you say Stefanski's system's failing his quarterbacks then?
Okay, go ahead. You answer, and then because that brings me to my point.
I said that about what I said. What I tell y'all that like a week or two ago. I said that. I just feel like quarterbacks again. The longer that they're with him, the more that I don't know if it's that he scared them off of throwing interceptions. So they like, well, I don't want Kevin to be mad, so I'm gonna just throw this check down and play it safe. Which, okay, you live to see another down. But I mean, when Jameis took over and Jameis had these good games, remember, Kevin was not calling those plays. Like that's the one thing we have to remember, that the last time we seen explosive quarterback play came from Jameis. Like, that's crazy. And he wasn't calling the plays.
Okay. Now, I get what all you guys are saying. I agree with all of it. G alluded to the point that I, went on a rant yesterday about how I'm done, and Sunday. I'm done with Kevin. I'm ready to move on. To me, he's not the answer. Now, again, Jimmy is one of the worst owners in sports, so he will probably screw up the next hire, and the next coach probably won't be any better. But what I'm not going to do, and I'm starting to see you guys do it, and Mike led you there with the question, and I'm seeing fans do this nonsense. What I'm not in for is that now we're going to blame Kevin for all the players who suck. I'm not down for that.
Who said that?
Well, that's what we're all alluding to here.
So wait a minute. Hold on.
Joe Flacco didn't suck because of Kevin. Kevin didn't help him, but Joe Flacco sucked because he sucks. Deshaun Watson sucked because he sucks. And yes.
And DTR.
I mean, DTR. Did anybody think he was going to be good? Listen, let's be fair about it.
What was Baker's stats this last year here with the shoulder?
It wasn't good.
Okay.
Did he check it down a lot?
Yep.
No.
He was checked down.
No, in fact,
he was running boots.
Mike, we have this check down thing is really just this year. And Deshaun Watson. It is. Look at the numbers. Mike, bring up the numbers.
Steve, take 370. So I went and looked
Go ahead. Look at it.
So just take it full, Steve. Take this full. I went and looked at the average depth of target every year under Stefanski. The higher number means further. The lower number means shorter. This year they ranked 24th in the NFL in average depth of target. Every year,
every other year, they're middle of the pack or better.
Yeah.
The last 2 years has been
16th is middle of the pack. That's not bad.
Last year? Wasn't they on pace to be the worst offense
ever?
But that has nothing to do with throwing the ball downfield. You guys are saying they never throw the ball downfield. That's not accurate. The first 4 years, they were top 11 in throwing the ball downfield.
So let me give you this. Let me give you this.
Yeah.
In 2024, he was 16th. What week did he turn over play calling?
Okay, then even take out 24. Fine, G. But look at the first 4 years. The first 4 years, that's good.
Okay, so you got so you're looking at 8.4. That's 11.
Here's all I'm saying.
What is this rank again? Yeah, this is average.
The average depth of target.
We can all agree or not agree that Kevin Stefanski has not done a good enough job. There's no debating it. The last 2 years he's been awful, but you were complaining often that Kevin Stefanski was getting a pass, and you were right because he was getting a pass from people. But I'm not going the opposite way now.
What you mean?
I'm not giving the quarterbacks a pass because of Stefanski either.
I ain't doing that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Coming into the season, I told y'all the London game was going to be the end for Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said he's going to fall off.
I mean, Joe was shot.
2 to 3 games, and that's it. So Joe was never going to be the answer. Jameis, we knew what came with Jameis. We knew he would throw touchdowns, but he'd also throw picks. Yeah. He did exactly that. That Kevin didn't change any of that. The Deshaun thing, nobody knew what you was getting. You sit out for 2 years and then try to play again. Like, you don't know what to expect. You would think that it would ramp up, and it just never happened.
All right, Dustin, you can't. He didn't put it like this. He ain't have no up top crazy tier 1 starting type quarterback where it was like he had somebody like Josh Allen or somebody.
No, Baker Mayfield was a
Baker had a great year with him.
Pretty good player, and is still pretty awesome player. But yeah, I mean, outside of him, I mean, think about who we've had. I mean, there's been a million guys that have been run through there that are not that talented. I don't know, guys. This sucks because like we're sitting here really trying to find out who deserves blame and who's going to get fired or who's going to stay and who like. We're not talking about like wins and losses. By the way, the Browns should be in the position right now currently to win the division, but they're not.
They could be,
but they're not. And I'm not saying they would, but they should have won the game on Sunday. And then say what you want about the Bengals game, it is what it is, and you could take away another loss. I know that. I understand, but the situation is, I mean, the Browns could have 3 wins right now.
They could, yeah.
You know, I think when we talk about the quarterbacks. A little bit of it is like this. The thing that you guys that I want to throw out to the people is, okay, you got the quarterbacks now, and we can parse whether or not he helped them or hurt them. The big question mark, if you're talking about replacing the coach, is A, do you believe that his system is advantageous to a young quarterback that you want to be a superstar? And B, do you trust him and Andrew Berry putting their heads together and picking the correct quarterback?
I do not on the second part.
Again, I will know that answer in about 2 or 3 weeks.
So you want to? So you gonna wait it out? You gonna give it?
Well, let me
I mean, I'm not firing him
here's
today.
the question,
Why would
guys.
you do
We're
that?
not talking about firing him. I'm talking about for you to come to a clarity.
Here's
Yeah.
Figure out.
No, because like I say, listen, they chose Dillon Gabriel as their number 2 quarterback in this draft. That's what they thought. Whatever you
What do you
want.
mean is their number 2?
That was the second best quarterback in this draft to them because they had the number 2 pick and decided to trade it and didn't take the Shuck kid, who at Dart, none of them. They thought that Dillon Gabriel was the second. Yes, they did. Yes, it is because if you felt otherwise, you even sat here and said it. You sat right here in this chair and said, you know what? I want the Browns. It'd be funny if the Browns didn't take Shador or Cam. I'd rather them take somebody else because you know why? That's their guy. That's their guy. It would tell me that that's their guy.
How do you have?
That's exactly what you said. Thank you very much. I got good memory, bro. Listen. So with that being said, in the third round,
I can't even dispute that because
I
don't know if I said it or not.
That's exactly what you said. They took Dillon Gabriel in the third round because they identified him as the second best quarterback in this draft.
Okay, first off, there's no way I would have said that.
No, that he was the second best quarterback in this draft?
Yes.
No, I didn't say you said that. What I said,
there could be a quarterback that they liked more than Dillon Gabriel. It's possible.
Well, they should have took him with the second pick.
But they didn't think he was worthy of a first-round pick. You can say it's stupid that they did it.
They could have took him with the 33rd pick.
Right, but who went? Did anybody go?
Jackson Dart was the only
Jackson
one.
Dart?
Him and Cam was the only one.
No, Dillon Gabriel was the 3rd quarterback taken in this class.
No, he wasn't. Shuck.
Oh, 4th, sorry.
He probably was. Unless where did Shuck go? Where did Shuck go?
Second
See,
round.
am I tripping?
Second round, New Orleans.
Where'd Jackson Dart go?
He went like 26 to the Giants.
Yeah.
25th.
Tyvus took his vitamins
Is
today.
it possible? Listen, if they like Jackson Dart enough to take him at the beginning of the second round, then shame on them for not taking him at 4. So yeah, there's a good chance. There's a good chance, not a short thing.
Thank you.
But there's a good chance that they thought he was the
So with
second
that
best
being said, they identify him as the second best quarterback in this draft. Therefore, I'm judging them on how they evaluate the quarterback position by what I see with Dillon Gabriel. Off of one game alone, you tell the quarterback overseas, he throws for 2 touchdowns, 190 yards, no picks. That's a solid performance. No matter what anybody wants to say,
lost the game,
that's a solid performance.
Nope.
And now, what I need to see is it continue to build because this game plan was you sent them out there with training wheels on. That's what this was. If this thing doesn't open up and I ain't seeing 250, 270 in games like that, like come on, like that. Then this is not the right system for him. I don't care what nobody says.
Because after Pittsburgh,
because I watched him in college at Oregon, and the dude slung the ball around to everybody, and his wide receiver Tez Johnson, an undrafted guy, who I told y'all, I even tweeted y'all and told y'all to take him, even if he was undrafted. Take Tez Johnson. He balling for the Buccaneers right now. I'm just saying,
Dolphins and Jets coming up. Dolphins and Jets coming up in a few weeks. Neither of those teams plays defense. But let me ask you guys a question, because this. To me, for all the talk about the coach, the quarterback, I think they all suck. I think I think the coach sucks, the quarterback suck, all of that. I don't think any of the quarterbacks the Browns have had been any good outside of Baker, and I don't think the coach is any good. But here's the thing. You have a choice, okay, for the Browns. You want Andy Reid and the current crop of quarterbacks, or Kevin Stefanski and Josh Allen? To me, that's easy. But go ahead.
It's Stefanski and Allen. It's not close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
It's not even a decision.
And if we
So
had,
for all the talk of the coach, and it's important, give me the
Right.
quarterback over the coach anytime.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the great thing about. See, I don't know why y'all be tripping. You said it best yourself. There's 3 or 4 coaches that's special, and the rest of them is mine.
Right.
Listen, if we got Josh Allen and Kevin Stefanski's playbook looks like the way it does, he'd be gone in 3.5 games. Bye. Like, you got Josh Allen, you are expendable, but that's the game you can play. You can play that game when your quarterbacks is mid, because now it puts you in a situation where it's like, is it the coach? Is it the quarterback? Is it not enough talent? But if you got a bona fide top tier starter that you done seen do it before, and the offense looks trash, guess what the first thing you're gonna say? All right, Kevin, it was nice. We got a quarterback. We're going to get somebody else.
My point is, the reason I bring it up is because ultimately the Browns can change coaches, and I think they should. But the franchise is not going to make that big jump until they find a quarterback. That's it.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Play it, please.
Because I'm fair. I'm fair.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like a straight shooter, but I'm going to be fair on this. Could you see that the Browns got conned?
By?
The players.
What do you mean?
Because they didn't address the offense, right? So
That's
maybe
true.
they thought Jeudy would be a wide receiver 1, because at a point in time with Jameis, he was like 3rd and 4th in receiving, right?
Yeah.
So they was like, oh, we got us a wide receiver 1, so we don't necessarily need to go out
did a
and
lot
get
of
a
that
wide
in like
receiver
2
1.
games, didn't he?
Wait, hold on, wait.
Sorry.
And then with Dewan was playing left tackle. He looked good until he got hurt. So maybe they thought, well, we don't need to address the left tackle position because Dewan is a solid piece.
Right.
So maybe that's why they went in the draft and did what they did. I'm not saying it's the right move to make, but
Right. Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to look at it from their
But
eyes
that's a
where like
failure
it's
on-
like, all right, we
that's a failure
We
on the-
misevaluated what we had.
That's a failure. That's another failure.
Ultimately, yes,
Yes.
but like I can see like
The Jerry Jeudy.
I'm trying to see it from their perspective. I'm 31, so
No,
I'm
I
trying to
gotcha.
see it from both
No,
sides.
I
now.
get it. You're right. There probably
You don't
is
see
some truth to
that. You don't see how that could be a thing, though.
No.
I hear you, Ty, but they see
It
these guys
can be,
every
but
day.
that's still a failure on Stefanski's part.
No, I liked it. You tried it.
I'm trying. Listen, I'm trying to bring perspective. I'm trying to bring their perspective to people and see what y'all think.
It wouldn't be so bad, but here's the thing. I'm old enough to remember a couple weeks ago, just a few weeks ago, these are the same people trying to sell us on how great Kenny Pickett was, and we just wouldn't buy it. We're like, come on, bro, it's Pickett. These are the same people that chose to start a 40-year-old quarterback. They chose that, right? Second of all, throw out the fact, shout out to Jason Lloyd. He told you for years, the quarterback's in 26, and this is going to be a 2-year soft rebuild. He said that. He also said it's all about the dome. So, yeah, you can't have
Well, I told you that.
you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, well, wow, look at our offense and how bad it is, when year after year I sit up here and say, hey, you going to get some receivers? And the answer from the organization is, we like our receiving room.
That's true.
Donovan Peoples-Jones and all them other.
What happened? Is he out of football?
Yes.
Is he? He's a 6th
By the way, how
round pick.
did we go
Six-round
where
pick.
Played like
you
4
guys, the whole show, as in general, the show was overrating Jerry Jeudy last year. I was the one poo-pooing Jerry Jeudy.
And now you're
I'm his only defender
You're his
left.
chariot.
How are you defending him?
What are you saying that's defending?
Because everybody's gone too far. He's played poorly. No
We're
doubt
gonna do a whole
about
Jerry
it.
Jeudy topic. So.
But you have a whole topic?
We
We'll
do, but no. But make your point.
But
'cause I have
Jay
one other
said
question.
he's called it like he's terrible. Like he's not terrible. He's playing poorly now.
Dustin?
I wouldn't call him trash.
He's not trash.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's trash.
He's an elite level talent, receiver, athlete, whatever you want to say. Like, no doubt about that. But he's right now, he's getting in his own way. Like,
I hear you.
he knows how to catch the football. He wouldn't be in the NFL if he didn't know how to catch the football. But he can't catch football.
What
right
I'm
now.
seeing right now.
So it's something going on
What
upstairs.
I'm seeing out of Jerry Jeudy right now is exactly why Denver decided to move
Yeah.
off of him. Like, it makes sense.
But it's stupid to give. I don't know. I don't agree with giving up on him. He's playing poorly now. I agree.
I wouldn't give up on him either. You're paying him $40 million.
You can't give up on him.
Like, to say he's not a legitimate wide receiver. I mean, he did have 1,200 yards.
No,
last
no.
year.
He's
I
not
mean,
a
not a legit
legitimate
number one.
Well,
on a good team.
It depends how you define that. I mean, yeah, no, he's not an elite wide receiver. I get it. Are there 32 wide receivers better than him? Yeah, right now you'd say yes. I don't know over the course of the last few years.
Oh, gee. I apologize. I know over the summer we did that,
What's that?
and I kind of had him like with the C group.
Yeah, C group. He's in.
Yeah.
See,
No, he's not.
It's on
we
me.
we
That's on
had
me.
to. We
I was
it's-
kind
To
of.
put a
I'm
bow
just
tie.
saying, when you talk about the Browns wide receiving core, he's a legitimate starting NFL wide receiver. He's having a bad season. He's in a slump. He's in his head, whatever the hell it is. You know, we think of slumps in baseball. You don't really think about that in football, but guys can have slumps in football too,
It's in
where
all
you're not
sports.
playing well.
To
No,
put
and
a
it's
wrap
got to
on
be
this-
frustrating too to not have like a legitimate quarterback throwing you the ball.
Right. Think about Jerry Jeudy again.
I'm not letting him off the hook at all.
No,
He's playing terrible.
listen, I'm not trying to defend how he's played this year. He's been terrible. But to be fair to him, he has not played with a single good quarterback in his entire career. Look at who he's played with. Every quarterback they had in Denver stunk. Every quarterback they've had here has stunk.
It is fair.
He hasn't played with a single decent quarterback.
To put a wrap on this part, 'cause we're
Yeah.
going to get back to Jeudy later in the show. Is Stefanski's system failing his quarterback sport? Yes or no?
I don't see
Yes.
it that way.
Yes.
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 It's contributing. I'll say it's contributing
Of
to their
course
failure.
he is. Of course.
I don't. fully-
Dustin, yes
I
or
think
no?
going too far.
I don't even know what Kevin Stefanski's system is.
I don't really know either.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Isn't that sad
What's so
after
great
6
about
years?
what's so great about I would say this the greatest thing about Kevin Stefanski, I would say, is that for the most part his guys show up and play hard. And they have a chance to win games. Like I think that they for the lack of talent that they have in certain positions and whatever, like they do play hard. It's a really low bar. Really low.
Very low. Yeah.
But in terms of like why he's here, he's supposed to be this genius with quarterbacks and with the offense and all these things, and boy, that has really lacked.
Yeah.
It's
no
just,
doubt.
I feel like when he first got here, like that seemed like the case. Like I thought Baker played well. Even Case Keenum
did.
had some starts. Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby played probably his
Like,
best football
yeah,
here.
and then it's just I don't know. It's just like it's been declining.
It's gone down the last 2 years.
Ever since the D Watt thing.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Maybe Stefanski's in his own head too with some of this stuff. I mean, we act like he's a human being. I mean, Jerry Judy's having
Maybe
a
he's
rough
lost
year.
confidence.
I mean, Kevin Stefanski's having a rough year.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a rough 2 years.
well,
He's had a rough.
you can't afford to have that.
Yeah, that's it.